So having been fortunate enough now to have used the Whiz for a little while, one of the big things that's really been a bit of a game changer for me and my students is actually the speed of the swing, and in particular speeding up the backswing element. So let's say from now on, low and slow is no more. In fact, if you want to play really badly, hit the ball crooked and short, give that a go. Low and slow on the backswing, there's really nothing good about it. So what we're finding is a number of things occurring when golfers actually speed up the backswing. And just understand, I'm not talking about taking this thing away from the ball at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but certainly if you're a player who's been deliberately trying to slow their backswing down, then it is going to feel a little bit quicker too. So just bear me out at this point. So if we can get some speed in the system a little earlier, what we're starting to see with players, number one, really interesting. For those of you who struggle to sort of set the wrists in the backswing, this is a biggie. So the slower you're taking the club back, the longer the heavy bit, the club head stays below your hands, the harder it is to get that club setting into position. Now, if we get it coming back a little brisker and a little quicker, and we simply stop being so deliberate, I think that's the big thing. We're just being a bit too deliberate about this. Get some speed in it earlier. You get the head of the club above the hands sooner in the backswing. The shaft of the club gets vertical earlier, and we've set the wrist a little bit better. Why does that matter? Well, that helps us up there at the top of the swing to keep a little more structure in those arms. The longer it takes to get the club up there, we find then that players just collapse at the elbows, and we all know what happens from there. So don't be afraid to get a little bit of speed in it earlier on. Now also, from the down the line view, what we're finding is that by just getting some speed in the backswing, because the head of the club gets above the hands a little earlier, we're then finding that the golf club is set on altogether a better plane. So again, if you're one of these players who is a little guilty of taking the club a bit too inside, a little too much, that backswing gets a little too flat, please give it a go. Get some speed in that club head a little bit earlier, and I bet if you video it, you're going to see that club planing so much better. All sounds great. How are you going to do it? Here's a couple of ways. My favorite drill for doing it is just to take your setup position and start with the club head about a foot in front of the ball, and then just make some swings from there. Now, because you're starting out in front of the ball, we're going to get some speed in it a little early. If you video it, you're going to see how that golf club gets vertical just that little bit sooner. Also, what you could do, go and steal a flag from your local golf course. I'm joking, don't do that, but this is a training aid made by Dan Frost. We've got the flag on the end, and just make some swings and listen for the whoosh going back as well as coming down. Most of you think you're only going to whoosh the club, or the flag, I'm sorry, on the way down. I want to hear two whooshes. I want a whoosh going back and a whoosh again coming down. So for those of you that are DeWiz users, let's try and get the start to impact time within a second. Let's see if you can get around about that 0.75 of a backswing, about 0.25 of a downswing. It is going to feel a whole lot quicker. Let's see if we can show you a couple. So just, it sounds odd, but just try not to be so deliberate. Just get a bit of speed in the system a little sooner. Let's see if we can get a half decent one down there for you. A little quicker, a little earlier. You know, even for a golf coach, that's not too bad. Please give it a go. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Ian Clark at Ian Clark Golf Academy.